This is what the Color Mode Workspace looks like by default, and I think it's missing a few things, so let's set it up properly. Keep in mind that this is still a beta feature at the time of making this video, so things might change a bit even before the official release of this tool. So by default, all you have here is the source window or your active clip in the middle, the clips on your sequence or the clip viewer here on the right, the adjustments on the bottom, and the tools here in the corner. The way you can change the position of any of these windows is by dragging from the window name, and Premiere will show you a highlighted zone for where you're about to move that window to. The first thing I like to do here with this workspace is drag the clip viewer onto the bottom and then make it way smaller so that it looks more like a normal timeline rather than a bin of thumbnails. I also like to toggle off the metadata or the clip names because I don't think they add much value here. The way you position this clip viewer window here is totally about personal preference, but I just feel like it makes more sense to have it kind of as a timeline on the bottom rather than having it as like a bin of thumbnails on the right hand side of the panel. But this is all about the personal preference that you have. Now, before tweaking the sizes of these windows, I'll first open up everything I need. So next up, we're going to add some more windows here that I think are very crucial to a proper color grading workflow. So go up to Window and then first select the video scopes. And then I like to position that on the right-hand side of the program monitor. You really need to have scopes open for a proper color grading workflow, and the new color mode has that new HUD or heads-up display tool, which I'll talk about in just a bit, but I like to have the scopes open at all times so that I don't have to tweak something to have those scopes open up. You can add more scopes from the plus icon on the bottom right corner of the panel, and you can change the active scopes by right-clicking on them and selecting a different one, and you can also get rid of a scope by selecting Remove Scope. I think the waveform and the vector scope are the most useful ones, so I'll open up those two. If you don't know how to read scopes, that is something you should definitely look into if you want to master color grading. Now, the next window we're going to open up is Color Management, and I'm going to position this right on the same panel as the video scopes. In my opinion, color management is something that should be opened up by default here because it's pretty much essential for color grading, but I don't know why it isn't. But anyways, we can just leave it as it is for now. I also want to open up effect controls because if I want to mask something, I can track my mask in there. And I also want to position that on the same panel with the scopes and the color management. Now we have everything that we need opened up, so it's time to resize everything to make things look the way you like them to look. And this is much about personal preference, and obviously the size of your monitor will matter a ton as well. So just do this in a way that works for you and your monitor. What I like to do is maximize the size of the program monitor while still keeping everything else kind of sized so that it works. So just kind of maximize the space of everything that I can, but while keeping the program monitor or my active clip as big as possible. Because obviously when I'm color grading, I want to see what my clip actually looks like. So the bigger it is, the better it is. Now there's a couple of settings more to tweak. So all the way on the right side of the frame, you have the range icon for the settings. So open that up and first go to color control options. The sensitivity setting here will basically determine how strongly your mouse moves will change the color tweaks you do, and I like to take this down a bit so that I can be more precise more easily. I also like to select the lock here so that the horizontal and vertical sensitivities have the same sensitivity. The rest of the settings I just keep as they are, but if you hover over the names of the settings, you can see what it does, so you can decide for yourself if you want to change them or not. Next up in the range, we'll open up the heads-up display options, which I talked briefly about previously. So in short, the heads-up display or HUD opens up the necessary scopes whenever you're doing a tweak to your colors or contrasts. And I actually think this is a brilliant idea and actually my favorite feature of this new color mode, so I'll definitely want to have the HUD active. By default, it sits on top of your program monitor, blocking the view to your clip, which just doesn't make sense at all. So let's change that. I think freeform is by far the best positioning option because now you can put this anywhere you want to and change the size too. I like to have the HUD open up over my scopes, so I'll just move it there and adjust the size so that it covers the whole scopes panel or as much of it as it can. Now for the individual customization, I just leave it as it is. The last setting here is scrubbing. This will determine whether the playhead below the source monitor will scrub through your whole timeline or just a selected clip. And I prefer having this as the active clip so that I can scrub through the clip that I'm tweaking and it won't jump to a different clip. And that's actually all that I would do to tweak the Color Mode Workspace. I think that the default view that it has doesn't quite give you all of the options and settings and the panels that you need for a proper color grading workflow, and it's not really laid out in the way that I like it to be, but that's a lot about personal preference as well. So you might like it a bit different than what I do. But there's one more setting that I think you should tweak. So go up to Window, then Workspaces, and select Save as New Workspace. Now you can rename your workspace here, and now you have this new layout that you've just created all saved, so you don't ever have to set this up again, and you can always just open up the workspace in the way that you like it to be. Now, this is all I have for today. So this was a short, just kind of a rundown of how I think you should set up the Color Mode Workspace so that you can actually do some proper color work in there. I don't think it's laid out as it should be to begin with, but maybe that's something that Premiere will change before they push it out of beta. But that's all I have for today. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next one.